Hello, and welcome to the channel. I am the Walking Warrior, and today I am cooking some tasty Tigris burgers on the little onetigris Twig stove. Now, as you can see, I've got my little tin now. That'll do me as a chopping board, because I only carry light. You don't need all that clutter that people bring. I go camping with friends and they got everything, and then when we go walking they're forever having to sit down because they have just got too much weight with them. I don't travel like that. I just bring what I need and make do with what I've got. So I keep my pack as light as possible, 'cause you don't need all that stuff. A lot of my friends, they bring it all, they don't use art with it. There's no point bringing it. Just take what you actually gonna use, and you can always make do if you haven't got something. So as you can see, the one Tigris is happily burning away. I've already got it going. And he is happy today. Look at him, he's smiling away, burning like a good un, and in the corner of his mouth he has a cigar. I think he thinks he's one of the bandits in The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. He needs to pack that up, that cigar smoking. So I have done a video showing how you set this one Tigris up, put it together, load it and get it working. So that is on the channel if you want to take a look. Nice stove, this one Tigris, very good stove. For the money, hard to beat I reckon this one. So today we're going to do some burgers on it. I had the other two last night, so I've got two left. They was very tasty, the ones I had last night. So let's hope today's ones are just as nice. So I've got my trusty frying pan. Nice frying pan, this one. I think it's cast aluminium or something. It's not really heavy, but it's heavy-ish. The handle folds up, so it's easy to store and carry. So where's my burgers? Here we go. Let's get the burgers on the go. They're a bit big, these burgers, for the frying pan, but they was nice burgers. But they soon shrink down and fit in now, so they'll be alright. It was yesterday, they turned out lovely, these burgers, very tasty. And I'm hungry today, so I'm looking forward to them. So I'm having in it a few fried onions, bit of fried pepper and mushrooms and cheese. Basically, I raided the fridge indoors before I come out, so whatever was in there, I just chucked in my rucksack and brought it with me. Because it was a bit of a last minute thing this camping weekend. I'd nothing going on and I thought, let's go camping. It's going to be a nice weekend, so here I am. So chop some onion on my little chopping board. It's a bit small, but it does the job and I haven't got to carry nothing else. The knife's quite good. It's a Hunger Force knife from Amazon. It's only cheap, but it's good. I have had some really nice bushcraft knives. And yeah, they're lovely, but you end up losing them and they cost a ton of money, so when you lose it, you're gutted. So when I normally come out, nowadays, I just bring something like this Hunger Force, 'cause it's only cheap, and if you lose it, it don't really matter. Just buy another one. So all my nice knives stay indoors now, 'cause it's so gutting if you lose a nice knife. And it is weird, 'cause if you bring a cheap knife, you'll never lose it. As soon as you bring a dear one, it'll go missing. And you won't realise until you get home, and then you end up going back, tracing everywhere you've been. And if you're like me, you've walked miles, made a copy here, done this there. You end up going round all them places hunting that knife down, and you never find it, and you end up going back 2 or 3 times. 'Cause you get home and you think, oh yeah, I went there, I didn't look there, so you go back again and looking for it. Whereas this Hunger Force, if I lost it, I'd just leave it and buy another one. They're only cheap. And it is sharp, this knife. It's a good knife. It's as good as a Mora or anything like that. It really is. And it's less money than a Mora, so it's a good knife, this one. Nice bit of pepper. I like peppers in a burger, so I had one in the fridge, so I brought it with me. So let's get the pepper chopped up and get it on so it fries away lovely. It is a bit small, my chopping board, but I can deal with it. It saves carrying anything else. And like I said, where I do a lot of walking, I don't bring nothing unless it is essential. Now this tin's essential because all my fire stuff's in it, so it always keeps it nice and dry. So I keep a few lighters in it, some of the cotton buds, bit of alcohol gel, few nice little twigs, few other little bits that just help with the starting of the fire. So I need this tin. So this tin is always with me. But a chopping board, that's just a luxury. I can do without that. It's just something to carry. And if you're out hiking and walking miles, bringing a chopping board, that's just ridiculous. Because if you bring a chopping board, you're going to bring other luxuries, and then you end up with one of them backpacks that is so heavy that when you're out on these hiking, the backpack starts getting really heavy, and it makes it not enjoyable. Whereas if you're light, you can really enjoy what you're doing without hurting your back and having to stop every 5 minutes. Because when you're like that, it just ruins it. It's not enjoyable. And I did used to be a bit like that. I'd see stuff and think, oh, that'd be good to take with me. So you end up buying all this stuff, because it's great to buy it. You get it home, test it, and then you take it out. Yeah, I used to be like that, but now I've learned light is best. And if you haven't got it with you, you just make do without it. You just use what you've got, and you can always get by. And because your pack ain't heavy, it does make all the walking and all the trekking a lot more enjoyable, because you can do it easy. Different if you like going away for a week and taking the car. Then you can take everything, have all them luxuries. I'm the same. If I go away and take the car, my car is loaded to the gunnels with loads of stuff, just so I can use it and play about with it and that. But when I'm like this, just out on my own, wandering about, then I'm just light and make do with what I've got. And that really is a good bit of advice. If you're out and about and you're going to be walking a long way, just think as you're packing your bag, is that essential? If it ain't, leave it at home. So it's the same with the tent. If I go camping with the car, I take a nice big tent, all the luxuries. But like this weekend, coming down here, I've got a little Rubens tent with me. Little 2-man. It's only 2 kilos, so it ain't the lightest tent you ever get your hands on, but it's a nice tent and it's got enough room in it. And I've been out in that Rubens when it's been blowing a gale and absolutely lashing it down. It does not leak or anything, so it is a good tent. So it's only 2 kilos. But that 2 kilos, plus you put other bits in your bag, if you're walking miles, it does start getting heavy. Especially bring a few beers and all that, you end up with a bag that is quite heavy. And like this frying pan, I could get away with a lighter frying pan. And I have got a nice titanium frying pan. But when you're cooking on these Twig stoves, the titanium frying pan, or them little thin frying pans, is not the way to go. You burn everything, it all sticks to it, they're a nightmare. If you're using gas canister and a little burner, or a trangy, it's different. You can get away with them titanium frying pans, they're alright. But where on these wood stoves, the heat they chuck out is so hot, you need a decent frying pan, else it just makes cooking hard work. And I'm not walking miles this weekend. I literally walk here, which is quite far, but then once I'm here, I don't really go that far from here. I just chill out round the tent, have a little wander, a little mooch about. If I was going somewhere and I knew I was going to be walking miles and miles, I probably wouldn't bring this frying pan. I'd bring a titanium pot and different sort of food and just live like that, do a bit of pot cooking. But as I've come here, I've just bought this frying pan. I haven't even bought a pot to keep it light, so I will just live on fried food for the weekend. So where I am at the minute, I know there's always a ton of twigs about. It's my mate's bit of land, that's why I'm not showing where I am, 'cause he don't want no one coming down here, which is fair enough. But he lets me use it, so it's good down here. I can get away with it all, no one about. It's absolutely lovely down here. And it's bank holiday weekend and the weather's nice, so there's nowhere I'd rather be, 'cause I'm always out and about. I don't like being stuck indoors, it does me head in. So as you can see, it's all cooking away lovely. Sizzle, sizzle goes the burgers. Yeah, it's absolutely lovely. One Tigris is doing a good job. I do like this stove, and it is a cheap stove. This is the titanium version, but it's still not a ton of money, and it's very light and very good, this stove, and it's easy to keep going. That is the best thing about this stove. It is easy to keep it burning. You just keep shoving sticks in that hole in the front, and this thing will keep burning, and you just get a little tent peg or something and clean out the tray at the bottom. Just pull all the crap out with the end of a tent peg, and then this thing will keep burning for hours, whereas a lot of them stoves won't. Once they start filling up with ash, that is them over, but not the One Tigris. Clean that bottom out, this thing will keep going and going for hours. That is why I like this stove. And you can use this stove with the old Trangia burner. It will take that. And you can use it with a tablet. So it's very versatile, this stove. It does it all. But if I was away and I was using the Trangia, because I was going somewhere where I know there won't be no sticks, then, or if it is wet, because if it's a bit damp and that when you go out, these stick stoves can be a nightmare if you have not got dry twigs. So if I was taking out the Trangia, I've got a little Avenue TI stove. I would probably take that, because it is tiny and it weighs nothing, and it's good with the Trangia, that little Avenue TI stove. But I don't think you'd be using this frying pan on it, because it's only tiny. So if I was taking that, I would be travelling light, and I'd just do a bit of pot cooking. And the little stove fits inside a pot. It all packs down really small, so that is a good one. I'm not sure if it takes the actual Trangia. The one I've got that goes with it is the Avenue. It's like a Trangia, but it's made by Avenue. It's a little titanium burner that is made to go with that Avenue stove. So the pair of them together, it's really good stove, and it's only tiny. I will do a video on that another day when I've got it out going. I have got it with me today, because if I go for a little wander, I shall leave everything in the tent, and I should just take my coffee pot and that little Avenue stove, because you can use it as a twig stove, and it's so light and easy to set up. It's good for making a coffee, but it's hard to cook on with the twigs, because it's hard to keep it going and hot enough to like cook on it. But for making a coffee in the old coffee pot, it's good for that, because you just load it once and it will boil my coffee pot. So as you can see, that's what's good about these sort of stoves that have the big hole in the front. You can just put the long sticks in them, and as they burn down, you just keep poking them in. So they are easy to keep going, these stoves. You haven't got to snap all the twigs up tiny like you have with so many stoves. The ones with a big hole are better, I think, because you just put long sticks in and keep pushing them in as they burn. And that's cooking nice, smells nice and all. It really does. You smell them peppers roasting away, they smell lovely. So I will do more of these cooking ones, bring it to the channel if people are interested, because I'm always out and about camping and cooking, and I like it down here. It's a really nice place to get away from it all, and I only need to ring me mate and say, alright, to go and stay on your land tonight, and he's like, yeah, no worries. So it's good for me down here. This is kind of my little getaway. And there is a co-op about a mile away up in the village, so if I've forgotten anything, or I run out of food, or I just fancy something, I can just wander up to the co-op and get whatever I like, really. So it's not like in the middle of the wilderness down here. I can just nip out and get whatever I want. Although it's a mile walk, it's not far, and it's lovely countryside, so it's a nice walk up to the village. And there's a nice little pub in the village, so when you are up the co-op buying stuff, it's rude not to pop in there and have a little cheeky one or two. So that's what I do. I pop in there, say hello to people, have a cheeky little beverage, and then wander back to my little private campsite. So let's get some cheese on and get some cheese melting on these lovely burgers. So back to my little tiny chopping board. See, it's a good little chopping board, this, all you need. Make do with what you've got. You don't need all that stuff that you've just got to carry. Make do with what you've got. All that stuff doesn't make the camping no better. What makes the camping better is actually being out camping. No matter what you bring, you will enjoy yourself. Well, as long as you've got a stove and you can do food and you can have a drink, that's all you need, really. And you are dry. You haven't got a terrible tent that leaks when it rains. That's all you need to make it enjoyable. You do not need all that tons of clutter, all them luxuries that you don't really need. And that's what's good about these Twig stoves, because you don't need to carry fuel and all that. 90% of the places you can go to can always find twigs. And if you're thinking, oh, I'm going to stop in a minute, start collecting the twigs before you get there. Just in case when you pitch your tent and that, there ain't no twigs about. If you think, oh, I'll pitch my tent in about 20 minutes, I've had enough walking today, then that's the time to start collecting twigs. So time you get to where you are, you've already got a nice big bag full of twigs, and that saves you a lot of time, because you're not putting your tent up and all that and then thinking, right, I need to go and collect twigs to get the stove going. If you've collected them on the way to where you are going to put the tent, it saves you time and you are all ready to go. Once you pitch your tent, you have not got to move anymore. You can just sit back, fire the stove up and enjoy the delights of outdoor cooking. And I do love a bit of outdoor cooking. I don't mind cooking indoors, but there's something I prefer it outdoors. There's something about being out in the big wide world with a twig stove cooking away. That's why I like these twig stoves. I've got all the different types of stoves, but I am definitely a fan of the twig stove. It's just my favourite way to do it. And once you have bought yourself a twig stove, you never need to buy no fuel. You can fuel it for free for the rest of your day. So that is a wonderful thing. Do not need to buy fuel. Just buy the stove and away you go forever. 'Cause you can always find twigs and sticks. They're just everywhere. So they're easy to find. And if you can only find like big fat twigs, you can just slice them down with your knife. It ain't a problem. So the fuel for these stoves is so easy to find. You never need to buy fuel for these stoves. The fuel is free. So I'm looking nearly ready with me tasty Tigris burgers. Just wait for that cheese to melt down a little bit, which won't take long. It's already started going. And then these are good to go. I should put the mushrooms on, but I don't like the fried mushrooms when they're fried right up. I only like just warm them through a little bit. That's just how I like them. So maybe, if you are a bit of a health fanatic, then maybe this onetigris burgers recipe might not be for you. But I'm going to eat these and then probably go and walk about 5 miles, so I'm not worried about the calories. I will burn that off easily this afternoon on a nice long walk and a little mooch about. And then I shall be back here later cooking once again with the trusty onetigris twig stove. 'Cause I enjoy this bit of the camping as much as all the other bits. Although I love the walking and the out, seeing what I can find and a bit of exploring, I do love the cooking side of it. It's nothing better than wasting an hour or two cooking on one of these stoves, knocking something up. Yeah, I really enjoy it. So if you've never done it before, you should give it a try, because you really might enjoy it. There's something special about just cooking outside on one of these little Twig stoves. It's better than using the gas stove, and it's better than using the Trangy. There's just something really pleasurable about cooking with a Twig stove. And all the food gets that lovely smoky flavour that you cannot get from using a gas stove or a Trangia. You need to do it like this with Twigs to get that lovely smoky flavour. And I know it's a bit more of a palaver, the Twig stove. You got to find the twigs and you got to tend to it and keep it going, keep feeding it twigs and all that. But that is a really enjoyable part of it. That is what makes it so good. It's the keeping it going and the feeding of the twigs and the gathering of the twigs. It's all part of the cooking process, which makes the whole thing really pleasurable. So if you have never done it, go on, get out there and give it a go, because you just might find you really enjoy it. And then if you do, it's a really good way to spend the afternoon. Pop out somewhere, fire up the little Twig stove and cook yourself something tasty. And it doesn't cost a lot of money. You can make yourself one of these stoves out of an old baked bean can. And alright, it'll only last 4 or 5 times and then you'll be chucking it away. But if it didn't cost nothing, then it doesn't matter. You just make one. I've done that loads of times. They call them a hobo stove. Put a few holes in a bean can and away you go. You're cooking with it. I've had quite a lot of fun making my own little stoves over the years and trying them out. Especially when I was a kid with my mates, we was always making little stoves out of this, that and the other. And then up the woods camping, trying them out. Yeah, we had a lot of fun making our own stoves. So if you are a young'un sitting there maybe watching this with your dad, do me a favour and say, oi, come on Dad, let's make one of them stoves. Go out in the garden and just cook a bacon sandwich. 'Cause you haven't got to go up the woods. Although it's more fun up the woods, you can still have some fun. Make a little stove, go out in your back garden and cook yourself a bacon sandwich. And you never know, I bet you have a bit of a laugh and have a really good afternoon. And you can easily find out how to make one on YouTube. There's tons of videos on here of people making stoves out of this, that and the other. People are making them out of everything. So yeah, make yourself one, go out the back and do a bacon sandwich. Just for the fun of it. 'Cause it is fun. And I look about ready now with my tasty Tigris burgers. The cheese has melted nicely. All looks good. Happy days. And I am very hungry. So I'm looking forward to these burgers. Yeah, they are done. Lovely jubbly. Let's put 'em in the buns and away we go. Tasty, delicious onetigris burgers. Happy days. See, so it's a good stove, this one. It works really well, and as you saw, I had no trouble keeping that going. I just was chucking the sticks in it and keeping it going. And I haven't even had to clean this one out yet. So if it did start, like, not burning properly, you just get a tent peg and clean the bottom of it out, and away it goes again for another hour or so. So it's a good one, this. It's like a no palaver, easy to use stove. It is a great beginner stove, this one, because some of them are hard work and you need to be a bit of a fire master to keep them going. But this onetigris ain't like that. This onetigris is so easy to use. It is a very good design for that. It is simple and very effective. So yeah, let's load up these burgers. Happy days. Brown bread rolls. I prefer brown bread to white. Very tasty. All cooked nice. I could have done with a few more onions really, but that was the only bit I had left. I didn't got no more onion. But it's enough. Like I said, make do with what you've got. And I have got a little bit of squirty mustard and a little bit of tomato sauce with me, so that shall go in these burgers as well. So lovely. Cheeseburger, brown bread roll, bit of onion, bit of pepper, mushrooms, cheese, little bit of squirty mustard, little bit of tomato sauce. So try it. It's a really nice, tasty burger, cooked on the onetigris in the big outside world. And I've enjoyed cooking it. I've had fun setting the camera up, doing it all. So yeah, I will do other ones of these. So if people like them, subscribe to the channel and I'll do more of these cooking ones, because like I said, I'm always out cooking, always. And I always come up with recipes, but you'll always see me like this, just making do with what I've got. I'm not one of these people that you are going to see with a massive great table set up, all the gear set up, trying to make out that they've walked up the woods and they're camping, when you know they're not. You know their car's parked right beside them, because they've got so much stuff, there is no way they have carried it all up the woods. So I'm not like that. I will just make do with what I have got and film whatever I am cooking with whatever I am cooking it with. And it will always be a bare basic minimum, because I do not carry a ton of stuff unless I am camping out in the car, and then I will tell you I am away with the car. So let's get in there and have a bit of a better look at these lovely tasty tigris burgers. Look at them, they look lovely. I bet you're hungry now watching at home. I bet you're thinking, oh, I'll do something to eat in a minute. Because that happens, doesn't it? When you watch people doing food on the telly, I do, I always think, oh, I need something to eat now. It makes you hungry. And look at them tasty burgers. They have got to make you hungry. Unless you're vegetarian, then they're probably making you feel a bit queasy. But if you're a meat eater like me, you are hungry now, and I don't blame you. So make yourself a little hobo stove. Get out in the garden and do some tasty hobo stove burgers in the garden. Lovely. Bit of ketchup. Lovely. Bit of tomato sauce. And a squirty mustard. I do like squirty mustard. I never leave home without it. It's one of my staples, the squirty mustard. I do like burger sauce in these burgers, but I didn't have none indoors, so I didn't bring it. I've made do with ketchup and squirty mustard. Lovely. Look at that. Oh, you'd pay a lot of money for that in a fine dining restaurant in London. And I bet it wouldn't taste as good, because it wouldn't have the delicious onetigris smoky flavour. Nice. So that is my lunch, and then I shall be off walking about, having a good mooch about for the afternoon. So I am really looking forward to it, because I love getting out and about and seeing what is out in this lovely world. So that's about it from me. Thanks for watching. I am the Walking Warrior. Please subscribe so you can join me in the next one. Now let's go and do some tasty twig stove cooking.